Dominion's getting ready for a big celebration, but a last-minute job overseas takes Matt off the guest list.
I'm now gonna miss our 50th anniversary gala.
How do you survive fire, smoke, helicopter crashes, and disasters at sea?
The perfect storm for disaster.
When it doesn't go right, people die, and sometimes a lot of people.
For 50 years, this family's built a business where nobody else dares. Recovering, repairing, and resurrecting anything in the world's most dangerous waters. This is their world. Salt water in their blood, come hell and high water.
It's go time. Do or die.
It's midsummer on Halifax Harbor, and Dominion Diving's flat out, working on a half-dozen big jobs all at once.
Okay, you see that beam there? Give her a check.
A crew's just headed out to do inspection work on an underwater sewage pipe.
It looks like it's broke off.
Great job, Gary.
I smell worse.
It's the height of the cruise ship season, with Dominion providing ship-to-shore service and waste removal.
They're still coming in.
Dive crews are out every day building and inspecting on underwater construction sites. Then there's all the day-to-day work of repairing the gear, fabricating parts, and keeping their equipment ship-shape and ready for action. And on top of everything else, Matt gets a call about another big job.
The next question was, where is Azerbaijan?
Azerbaijan is on the other side of the world. The job is operating an ROV off a ship in the Caspian Sea. Matt's the only one who can go. Everyone else is tied up with other work. Matt's no stranger to working far from home, but it couldn't have come at a worse time. It's not every day the newspaper sends a photographer to snap pictures of these roughnecks.
Well, feel free to snap a few pictures.
But this is Dominion's 50th anniversary, and it's a big deal.
We got media involved, we got the news networks. Everybody is feeling this energy of a local company that has grown into a world player.
Robin and Matt are planning a big event for the staff and clients to celebrate their father's founding of the company.
There's big shoes to fill when you're trying to step into the shoes of my old man.
You went back 50 years ago, they wouldn't tell you that we were going to become Canada's largest diving and construction ROV company.
Fleet of ROVs, a fleet of tugboats, research vessels, barges, cranes.
With ties all around the world. They didn't know that.
The international scale of the business means never turning down any job anywhere in the world, even if that means missing out on the big celebration.
Right now, I'm kind of torn on this one because this is a great opportunity in a new market for Dominion Diving. We're gonna put our best foot forward, but at the same time, I'm now gonna miss our 50th anniversary gala.
They've been working out the details of the party for months. It's Matt and Robin's shining moment, and a chance to thank the people who helped the company grow. Now Matt's got to find the right time to tell big brother Robin that he's gonna miss the celebration.
I gotta travel to Azerbaijan now on an ROV project in the Caspian Sea. The problem with that is they need me there next week. Azerbaijan's looking for ROV guy.
Yeah, you said that.
I might have to go to the Azerbaijan one.
Which certificates geared up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
See what everything is. That's the only person we can offer right now.
Yeah.
So we're going.
Cool.
I'm gonna miss my gala. I'm gonna miss the 50th anniversary. I'm gonna miss seeing all the people that have known me since before I was born.
If Matt was expecting Robin to be upset about him missing the big party, he's dead wrong.
Matthew did what I would expect Matthew to do. That's what we do. That's how the company operates. You jump into action when it's time to go. It's time to go.
The job in Azerbaijan is for a tech on remotely operated vehicles, or ROVs, on a ship working in oil exploration. It's technical, specialized work, and it's a new client Dominion's eager to please. The only one who can pull this off is Matt. But working out at sea requires training to survive a host of hazards, including crashes, fires, and disasters.
Oh yeah, ocean disasters. I mean, they go on. I don't want to say every day, but they're not something in the past. There's things that happen still.
Just getting to the job site is risky. Matt's got to fly out to the ship hundreds of kilometers over the open ocean in a helicopter.
Helicopters crash. There's a ratio there. When they have engine trouble, they drop out of the sky. Helicopters have the engine up on top. So when a helicopter crashes, they roll over. It scares people when you say that.
And then there's the horrific possibility of a fire at sea.
Fire is the worst thing ever.
The boat has had a fire. All the crew and everybody's out on the deck right now.
Fires happen very quick. You're in major trouble.
If you're on a boat or an oil rig, you can't just phone the fire department to get them to come put out a fire. You are the fire department.
You have to know what to do, and you have to act very, very quickly.
At sea, one problem quickly leads to another, a cascading series of disasters, like what happened on the Deepwater Horizon in the Gulf of Mexico in 2010. An eruption of methane gas from the ocean floor ignited, setting off a series of explosions, and a firestorm that consumed the entire platform. 11 workers were killed, but another 115 were saved using their disaster training.
The Deepwater Horizon was a chain reaction of events, created the perfect storm for a disaster. Everything that could go wrong was going wrong faster than anyone could think it would ever possibly go wrong. And yet, a lot of people come out of that alive. They had gas leaking, they had explosions, they had fires, they had ships sinking, they had thruster runoff, they had failure of mechanical equipment. They had everything possible thrown at them, so why didn't everybody die? While things were blowing up, while things were sinking, while vessels running off location, because of the survival training is why.
Training is key on it all. It doesn't matter what you're doing, because it's serious. People die. When it doesn't go right, people die, and sometimes a lot of people.
Every person working offshore needs to be trained to survive a helicopter crash and to work as a firefighter if everything goes to hell.
Everybody on board that rig was trained so heavily in survival.
Matt's got to prove he can survive helicopter crashes and fires at sea. Where do you learn skills like that? This is the place where offshore workers get put through hell on dry land. Rely on New Tech creates the worst imaginable disasters in carefully controlled simulations, right in Dominion's home port of Dartmouth, Nova Scotia.
Rely on New Tech is a full-on safety training in all areas, all aspects company.
Well, basically, a simulation theater is a specialized type of pool. It has the ability to create waves. It has wind fans that can generate about 80 knots at the mouth. We can turn the lights off. We can create sound, for example, the sound of an overhead helicopter. And we try to mimic the ocean environment at its worst as best we can for somebody in training.
The company's been working with Dominion for years. They provide the training, and Dominion provides the boats.
We've done operations with them where we've had rescue helicopters come down and attach cables to our boat and actually rappel down and recover casualties and mock casualties and take them back up on the helicopter.
Great relationship with those guys. We work with them hand in hand every day that we're on the water.
So welcome to the STST, Survival Training Simulation Theatre.
Because of their long history together, they managed to squeeze in Matt's training on just a few days' notice.
Time is under the gun now. See if we can pull this together.
They call this the dunk tank. It's a robotic roller coaster from hell, simulating a helicopter crashing and rolling in the open ocean. How long can you hold your breath? Now imagine freeing yourself from a seatbelt, busting out of the chopper, and swimming to the surface in icy water.
Yeah, that's when shit hits the fan. Now you gotta perform to save your life.
Without training, it's certain death.
Your training gives you the best advantage to staying alive. You don't want to fail.
But before Matt gets thrown in and tossed around, he has to prepare for a different kind of nightmare. A fire at sea.
The first aspect of our training is to identify that fire. Identify what type of extinguisher you need, put that fire out.
We're not training them to get on a hose team and attack a side of the rig. What we're training them to do is recognize a small type of fire offshore, select the correct extinguisher, and put it out.
It's going to tell you what kind of range you've got. So with this one, it's got 4 meter range. Here, it's also telling you what class of fire it's going to tackle. So this is an A and a B class fire.
You got your A fire, your B fire, and your C class fire.
The type of fire determines the type of extinguisher. A class is for wood and paper. B class is for grease fires or gasoline and oil blazes. And if you're battling an electrical fire, you need a C class extinguisher. Use the wrong extinguisher and it only makes a fire worse.
If you have an oil and gas fire and you grab a water fire extinguisher, well then all you're gonna do is blow that fire all over the place.
So if you want to light that up, approach, fire, 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 diesel fire.
Fire extinguisher gives you limited amount of firefighting capability, but it gives you something. You might just need that fire extinguisher to get yourself to safety.
Fire, 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 diesel fire.
You're not gonna put out the fire, but you're gonna make a exit passageway for you then to get to the next area.
Squeeze and sweep. Good job. Back away. Fire's out. Nicely done. Okay.
In an emergency, one blast of the extinguisher could be the difference between life and death.
There's 2 stages of this safety training. There's your firefighting and your spatial awareness, your different ways of communicating in zero visibility.
It's not just knowing what to do. It's the ability to do it all when the heat is on.
Then you got the next aspect of firefighting, which is zero visibility. Smoke environment is what it's supposed to mimic. You got to be able to make passage through a certain area, identify fire zones so that you don't open a door up with zero visibility and walk right into a fire.
There's a lot of corridors where you guys are working, so you would have to find your way out potentially. Now, if you guys were trapped inside down in the accommodation, then there's a good potential for all the smoke that to become a smoke-filled environment, and this would be the only way out.
You got to be able to guide yourself through without seeing anything.
Feels like a door. Watertight door.
Identify the fire,
Opens outward.
go past it to a safe haven.
This would be what you would need to do to get out. Now, if it was a lot of smoke in here, then you would be lower down as well.
Feels like a door.
It's a door. What do you know about the door?
Can't feel hinges or the handle.
Okay.
Found a handle.
Which way is it open?
Indicates it swings outward. And light switch.
identify your surroundings, and make your way out.
I'm gonna touch the bottom, it's cool.
That's it.
Put my arm here, brace myself, let out slowly.
Yeah. And we're good. Head out now. Good job, guys. That was great.
Yeah.
While Matt's learning to survive a fire, things are heating up and getting creative over at headquarters as they prepare for Dominion's 50th birthday bash.
Divers really like mermaids, and mermaids really like divers.
Robin's hooked on a fishy idea to land a mermaid for the event.
So we figured we'd continue the legend and put a mermaid in over there.
But the pool he got is barely bigger than a goldfish bowl.
Oh, well, we just picked up the mermaid tank. It's not quite what we expected. It's got some legs on it.
It's an idea, it's an artistic flair to it, just a bit of fun. Give some people something to talk about.
No! Makes it like it should be. All that does is clear legs.
Anyway, less than impressive, but
So, like everything else, we'll end up modifying it and making it fit our purpose. That'd be good on the day. So it's a good thing we picked it up a couple days early.
with Matthew missing, I needed a bit more backup, some more man or woman power.
Without Matt to help, Robin's swamped at the office.
We're coming looking for you.
So, he's called in their big sister.
I'm gonna come for you. I know where you live and I seen where you sleep.
Carolyn's a salty character, more comfortable at sea than behind a desk.
I am cook on the boat, the head cook on the boat. Now, in the last 2 days, these are what I've been doing. These are calls that I've made. All of these are calls that I've made and made.
She's managing the last-minute details and the all-important guest list.
Everyone on that list is important to every part of Dominion. Nobody gets left off the list is what we don't want. Again, I'm a cook on the boat, and I'm in here reviewing a list that these people I've known for a long, long time. So there's layers to the onion. There's a cooking term.
Back at his disaster training, Matt's suiting up to test his skills at surviving at sea. Submersion survival suits are waterproof dry suits designed to protect offshore workers from hypothermia while waiting to be rescued.
The seals on these suits are what make these suits so good. And then all he's going to do is just going to take a big breath and he's going to pull it down. One nice fluid motion. Now it slides on really nicely because that's like parachute material.
If everything else goes to hell, this suit could be the difference between life and death.
It's important to make sure it's docked fully against that. Matt, you've obviously done dry suits before, right? So if it's not docked, it's going to leak. And then he's got waist strap and he's got crutch strap to do up. If that isn't snapped on, this can work its way open. Could do that over the 5 years that you work offshore, you would never know about it. The one time that you need your bottle, it falls out because you're upside down. Now you're ready to fly.
The survival suits are buoyant. This drill prepares Matt in case he's stuck in the hold of a ship and has to pull himself along to find his way out. Otherwise, he'd just pop up like a cork and get stuck. If this were a real emergency, Matt might have to survive in this lifeboat for days, even weeks. This flimsy canopy could be the only thing that keeps the weather out. A thin membrane between life and death. The next simulation won't be so simple. This is the big one. Surviving a helicopter crash in the open ocean. They're gonna fire up the dunk tank, crank the storm simulator to 11, and throw Matt straight into the deep end. Today, Dominion Diving has a fleet of 8 ships, barges, robotic ROVs, and dozens of employees. It's an internationally competitive, multi-million-dollar operation. all run out of one warehouse in Halifax Harbor. But it wasn't always like this.
Dominion diving was started in 1969. Slow, rough, grueling start.
There was only like 4 or 5 employees at that time.
We attracted people that would not really fit into the rest of society all that well, but were perfect fit down here. They were rough guys, smart guys, tough guys.
To finance his company, Matt and Robin's dad, Barry Lonis, didn't go to the bank for a loan. He went out to sea for sunken treasure.
Sable Island is about 120 miles off the coast of Halifax, out in the Atlantic Ocean. It's a long, narrow sandbar, basically in the middle of nothing. It's also known as the graveyard of the Atlantic because there are so many shipwrecks all around this island, and it's still happening to this day. My father discovered this one shipwreck in particular that caught his eye.
There's nobody on this planet has no more in Sable Island than me. There is no rocks out in Sable, nothing. The only thing to get your cable caught on is wreckage.
He was out doing another project and happened to see this vessel and took down the name and did some research on it. The vessel's name was the Independence Hull.
It sank in 1942, and it was carrying more material for cargo.
Tons and tons and tons of brass, scrap brass, plates.
That's when it became, holy shoot. I think we got something here.
That's where everything got fun.
Hallelujah. We're pulling in the mother load. Oh my golly. And they worked and worked and worked because they didn't want to leave one penny on the bottom down there.
It was polished right up. It was sparkling. It was polished right up from the sand, like sandblasted.
So we had a boat there that had a 2-ton winch on it, and we would lift it up 2 tons at a time.
It took a lot of brass to build the company from nothing. Over 5 years, Barry Lonis kept going back and pulling more scrap metal from the bottom.
In total, it was about $1 million. In the early 70s, $1 million. Today, that would equate to close to 15 to 20 million. It was so much brass that it actually changed the value of brass on the stock market when they cashed it in.
They bought boats, diving equipment, auxiliary equipment, winches and things for the boats, and they just kept going on that.
Some people mistook that for treasure hunting. Barry said, we don't speculate. We are salvagers.
If you said it was brass ingots, we'd be in debtor's prison. But if you said it was scrap brass, then there's no duty on brass.
The materials that they took off there classified as scrap and not classified as raw materials, because it was raw materials and it becomes scrap once it becomes a shipwreck, apparently.
If you tried to do that today, there's so many rules and regulations that you have to, permits that you have to get, and this and that. The government takes all the fun out of it.
But the sea gives and the sea takes. It's cold and it's cruel. Matt's about to learn a tough lesson about the sea's unforgiving power and what to do when everything goes under. Matt's over halfway through his intense survival training for working offshore, but the most harrowing part is just about to begin. Learning to escape a helicopter that's crashed, flipped over, and underwater. Matt's gearing up for the absolute worst the simulator can throw at him. He's got to do it in the survival suit with just a tiny bottle carrying 3 minutes of oxygen in case he gets stuck.
All good.
As though a helicopter crash alone isn't enough. The dunk tank's also designed to mimic the conditions of a hurricane, where winds can blast at 250 kilometers per hour. For Matt's test, they're going to dial it up to its absolute maximum.
Picture being on the inside of a washer machine, put it on spin, and now get out. Yeah, baby. So the more you do it, all work, no play, the more you get used to that situation, that scenario.
In the last decade, 33 offshore workers have died in helicopter crashes at sea. 65 others have had to be rescued.
I've known people that have had to bail out of helicopters over the years. I've known people that didn't bail out of helicopters over the years. Death is part of it. We try to leave death checked in at the door. I ain't signing into him yet. Davy Jones ain't getting me, and the water's not taking me out. It gives you a really hands-on feeling of actual helicopter dunking. You're sitting in as close to real as possible simulator.
With Matt strapped in, they kick up the wave machine, an artificial tempest in an oversized teapot. There's a very real chance of things going wrong, so rescue divers are on hand to keep this simulated emergency from becoming an actual life and death struggle.
We're going down.
But if he needs to be rescued, Matt will have to dry off, get back in, and try it all over again, or else lose the job offshore. Besides the tiny air bottle in the survival suit, there is no external air supply. Once Matt hits the water, he'll be holding his breath until he can escape and make it to the surface. Matt's suited up, strapped in, and braced for impact. Does he have what it takes to survive a helicopter crash? He has to get unbuckled, push out a window, and make it to the surface, all on one breath. Matt's got to stay calm. A moment of panic could be fatal. The difference between life and death is preparation, focus, and concentration. Can Matt find a way out of this underwater hell and survive? This just looks like a warehouse from the outside. But inside, a full-force hurricane is underway with Matt in the middle. Once it floods, a real helicopter sinks at a rate of 3 meters per second. Matt's got to wait for the helicopter to stop rolling, then try to escape immediately. Matt's been under for 35 seconds now. Matt's got to muster all his years of experience to keep calm. He's unstrapped and heading for the window. Matt's disoriented at first, but the buoyant foam liner in his helmet lets him know which way is up. It's not a guarantee of survival, but now if something goes horribly wrong, at least Matt has a fighting chance.
Gets the adrenaline going. It definitely gets the adrenaline going, even though you know what's going to go on. You still, it's like, okay, all right? But yeah, the risk is always there, but it's always fun.
The safe escape means he's passed all the tests with flying colors. Matt's now fully certified and qualified to take the job in Azerbaijan.
Alrighty.
Meanwhile, back at Dominion's shop, the minutes are ticking down to the big celebration.
These are some watches that we have. We're trying to just come up with something that's for some of these people that haven't been here in a while, and just something that, you know, won't get put in the junk drawer at home.
As a token of thanks, Robin sprung for some gear.
Got some of these personalized watches. They're all serial numbered. They got 50-year anniversary on them and things like that.
They're gorgeous.
They're kind of cool, eh?
They're really, really cool, yeah.
The face on them is green. Green is Dominion's signature color.
To be here to see that, and it's say 50 years, it's just really, really special.
They're all serial numbered from 1 to 100, and then there's names engraved on them of 20 of the people that I could think of that had the most effect on the company. One of them being my father. He's the guy that started all this trouble, so I figured we should give him a watch.
To come up with something that you can give to people that means something that
They will keep
that they'll keep and appreciate.
It's warranted. It warrants even passing down, you know, sort of thing. Like it's not just a drawer kind of a thing.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Beautiful, beautiful.
While Robin packs up the gifts, Matt's rushing to pack his bags for the trip.
It's go time.
Organizing a last-minute trip to the other side of the planet takes special skills.
Well, time to do some packing. Okay.
But careful packing isn't one of them.
There. It's all my clothes pretty much from last time I went away. Well, Speedo pack. That's why I know exactly what's theirs, because it's all from last time. Done. My daughters, they don't know I'm going away yet. So I'll break that news to them tonight, right? So it's one of them, yeah. So, you know I'm leaving tonight, right? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be gone for a few sleeps, though.
How many?
30, which is 3 times 10. Okay. When I come back, we're gonna go camping?
Yeah.
Do you girls like camping?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you like boating?
Boating.
Boating? Okay. Well, girls, we gotta go in the truck now, okay? All right, let's go. Lily, you gonna grab my shirts? Come on, baby girl. First. This is one of the things I try to do with my baby girls before I go away, the day I go away, just to make them feel extra special to me. I make sure that they're the center of my day, and they love it. So, and I love it, right? They just happy to, I'm glad they're not in school today because it's summer holiday, so.
I'm proud of Matt for agreeing to do that, because there's nobody else that we could send at that time to do that. And that's what Matt's supposed to do. Like I said, he's not going to get a round of applause from me. I'm hard to impress that way, but that's what he's supposed to do. So when he does what he's supposed to do, I'm proud of him for that. That's just a good thing. If I was in the same position, I would do the exact same thing.
Matt's worked his entire life to help build this company. Working on the road meant missing a lot of kids' birthday parties, first days of school. Dominion's 50th is just one more milestone he won't be around for. all except one. Mama Lonis is on a last-minute mission of mercy. She got a text in the middle of the night. Things fell apart in Azerbaijan.
Surprise! I know. You know what shocked me was when I got your text that said you were coming home. I said, what the heck happened?
The ship blew up. The motor. I swear I didn't fucking blow the engine up. It wasn't my fault. Once it was all, they decided, okay, they're gonna actually send everybody home.
Yes.
But they're gonna bring us back later. I was like, this is perfect. The only person that seems to be happy is me. We flew from Azerbaijan to Doha, Qatar.
Yes.
Then Doha, Qatar to London, and then London to Halifax.
So that's 2 back-to-back long trips.
Yeah.
Matt might make it to the party, but he's got to get cleaned up and suited up in just a few hours if he wants to get there before it's all over.
How you doing, miss?
I'm good. How you doing?
Not bad. Busy, traveling lots. I wasn't expected to be home for any of this. So why would I buy a tuxedo or plan for anything?
You look like you're ready to go to bed.
I don't know if anyone could ever get a tuxedo in one day, let alone a couple hours.
All right, Matt. Step on up for me for a moment.
All right.
Jacket is gonna fit you like a glove.
Awesome.
The jacket might fit, but the pants need alterations. More delays.
Yeah, it's right in the back. Also, I need a pair of socks. Anything at all.
Sailboats are fine.
Sure. Here we go. Yeah. I got to get myself back through traffic down to Pier 21. Great. This is perfect. This day is shaping up to be just full on in every direction. Mom just dropped me off to pick up my truck. The flight got in at 2:30. As you can see, it's 4:40, and the event starts at 6. So, yeah. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Traffic, detours. Look at the detour in front of us. Oh, it's crazy. Fuck. Now I'm going backwards. I'm going in the exact opposite direction I was just driving because this. Yeah. This is fucked. Go figure. Fucking bus. Oh, I want to go fast to get the hell to where I gotta go. And the police pull out. Sure. And the police are in front of me. Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, the stress level is at about 30.
It's absolutely fantastic to see this many friends, family.
10 minutes to 6. If I drew a map out of exactly where we just had to go through during traffic hours, you'd think we had a helicopter.
Thank you all for coming to share a half-century milestone.
Here we are, Pier 21. We made it. Is there a bathroom over here? Here we go.
There were 2 guys that met us.
Oh, yeah. This rock go in ugly and come out beautiful.
1969 was an important year. The Boeing 747 took its first flight. Woodstock happened. The Pontiac Trans Am was introduced. Nixon took office, and the Americans put a man on the moon.
Pink sailboats. Okay. I can build an ROV, but I can't put suspenders on.
There's also several generations of divers. I can't list everybody, but there's, I'm just gonna go down through. People like Billy Lindeman, people know him as Herb. Yeah, Herb's the man, I'm just gonna tell you that.
And I get you to do that up on the back of the damn pants. I think there's your 2 buttons it hooks onto.
Sean McPhail, another good one. Again, only a few. Anybody not mentioned, you're not forgotten. I'll just take all that list. There's these hundreds of people that built this place.
Okay.
Doing it right since 1969 didn't come easy. Can I please have a huge round of applause for all of you again?
Surprise!
Hey, boss.
Hey, boss.
Yeah, made it. How the hell'd you get here? What'd you do?
We gotta speak about that.
Yeah.
I need a helicopter. Hey, sir, how you doing? Good to see you. I gotta go. Hey, sir, how you doing?
President of Dominion Diving Master of ROVs. Say a few words.
I have nothing prepared for this. I actually never really planned a speech for all this, because 2 days ago I was over in Azerbaijan. So right now we're gonna play the video that we had prepared in place of me being here. So I wasn't planning on being here. So right now we'll cue the video. What you see there is my passion. Passion for my family, passion for my company, passion for our clients, passion for my team at Dominion Diving, which is family.
It's been 50 years. Every day a new challenge, a tougher job, a tighter deadline, a deeper dive.
The legacy at Dominion is to build and build and build this company until it's as big as we can possibly make it. I'm good to go. I don't give up on anything. I'm ready to rock and roll until my days are done.
Since day one, Dominion Diving's had disaster in its DNA. Born on the back of a shipwreck, bootstrapped by sunken treasure, growing to an international operation using multi-million-dollar equipment.
When I first started, I never thought I'd be there for 50 years or 40 years or whatever. So for me, it was quite an adventure.
Your dream is always to have an opportunity and run with it. And the boys, when they took it over, they had a whole different other vision of it going even bigger. And I never doubted them for a minute. Never doubted it.
It could have went wrong in the worst kind of way. Could it go right? Obviously it did. Because we're here today, 50 years later.
Times change, but the game remains the same. Making things right when everything goes wrong out at sea. The domain of the lords of the ocean.